750,000 people sent home without pay. The world's largest economy holding its breath. And a political stalemate that slammed the brakes on the United States government. This isn't just a headline, it's a shutdown with real consequences. Are we on the edge of a crisis, or is this just business as usual in Washington? Stick around, because we're about to break down exactly who wins, who loses, and what happens next. Hello, and welcome to EPK Capital's special video on US government shutdown. So, what does this all mean? Are the aliens finally going to invade without the Space Force at full strength? Will your mail stop coming? And most importantly, can you still visit that giant squirrel statue in that national park you've been planning a trip to? Stick around, because we're going to break it all down. Section 1. What the shutdown means for the general public. First up, what does this mean for the average Joe and Jane? Well, it's a bit of a mixed bag. National parks and museums. Many national parks and Smithsonian museums are either closed or operating with a skeleton crew. So, your trip to see Old Faithful might turn into a trip to see old unreliable trash pickup. It's a great time to appreciate your local parks, though. They're probably open. Government services. Expect some slowdowns. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has had to suspend some routine food safety inspections. So, maybe think twice about that gas station sushi. Also, if you were hoping to get a new passport for a spontaneous trip to Paris, you might be waiting a while. Travel. For now, your flights should be fine. Air Traffic Controllers and Transportation Security Administration, TSA, offices are considered essential, so they're still on the job, just without getting paid. More on that in a bit. But if the shutdown drags on, we could see delays if workers decide they've had enough of working for free. Section 2. The not-so-great deal for government employees. Now, let's talk about the folks who are really feeling the pinch, government employees. There are two main groups here. The furloughed. This is a fancy word for sent home without pay. Around 750,000 federal workers are currently in this boat. They're not allowed to work, and they're not getting a paycheck. Imagine your boss telling you to take an unpaid vacation, but you can't go anywhere because you're not getting paid. The essential workers. These are the people who have to keep working, but also without pay. This includes folks in law enforcement, national security, and as we mentioned, air traffic controllers. It's like being the designated driver at a party you didn't even want to go to. And to add a little extra spice to the situation, President Donald Trump has floated the idea of mass firings instead of furloughs. So, not only are people not getting paid, but they're also worrying about losing their jobs entirely. Section 3. Who's open for business and who's not? So, which parts of the government have a closed for business sign on the door? Impacted departments. Significantly affected. The Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, the Department of Education, the Department of Commerce, and the Department of Labor are facing major disruptions. Also feeling the pain, the Departments of Agriculture, Interior, Justice, State, Transportation, and the Treasury are also seeing significant impacts. Exempt departments and services, but fear not, some essential services are still up and running. Your mail will arrive. The US Postal Service is self-funded, so they're not affected. Your Amazon packages are safe. Social Security and Medicare, Medicaid, these programs have their own funding, so checks will still go out. National security, the military, FBI, and CIA are all still on the job. So, no need to worry about a sudden influx of spies, at least, no more than usual. And in a fun little twist, members of Congress, the President, and Supreme Court justices all continue to get paid during a shutdown. Make of that what you will. Section 4. The ripple effect on international markets. Host, you might be thinking, this is all very interesting, but I don't live in the US. How does this affect me? Well, when the world's largest economy has a bit of a hiccup, people notice. Market jitters. A government shutdown tends to make international markets a little nervous. We often see some short-term volatility as investors try to figure out what's going on. The US dollar. The dollar might take a bit of a hit. When there's uncertainty in the US, the dollar can weaken against other currencies. Lack of data. The US government releases a lot of important economic data that investors and governments around the world rely on. During a shutdown, that data isn't released. It's like trying to drive with a blindfold on. However, historically, the impact on international markets has been relatively short-lived. The markets tend to calm down once the shutdown ends. Section 5. Investing during the shutdown. So, you're an investor. Should you be panicking and selling all your stocks? The short answer is, probably not. Don't panic. Historically, government shutdowns have had a minimal long-term impact on the stock market. There might be some bumps in the road, but the market usually bounces back. Stay diversified. This is always good advice, but it's especially important during times of uncertainty. A diversified portfolio can help you weather the storm. Look for opportunities. For the savvy investor, a little market volatility can create buying opportunities. The main takeaway for investors is to keep a level head and focus on your long-term goals. This isn't the first government shutdown, and it won't be the last. So, there you have it. The US government shutdown in a nutshell. It's a messy, complicated situation with real-world consequences for a lot of people. The big question now is, how long will it last? Democrats and Republicans are currently in a standoff over healthcare subsidies, and neither side seems to be budging. Let's hope they can come to an agreement soon, before we all have to start bartering with squirrels for our national park access. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, be sure to like and subscribe for more updates on this and other global happenings. And remember, no matter how bad things get, at least the mail is still running.